is Jennifer and welcome back to my channel. So this will be, I think, my 4th Halloween look this year, and I have been trying some new things with face paint, so I figured why not go and be a little bit extra and try like liquid latex and fake blood. So today I'm going to be attempting a like bloody Queen of Hearts like card sticking out of my face look. We will see how it goes. I have not played with liquid latex or fake blood. I have just like spot tested a bit of liquid latex on my skin just to make sure I was not allergic before I jumped into this. So this will be very interesting, and so yeah, I will be voicing over this whole thing as well. Okay, so to start, I am taking the Mehron liquid latex in light flesh. Please make sure you're not allergic to this before you put it on your face. But I have seen this technique on YouTube. At least that's what I found when I searched it. So it could be totally wrong, but you tell me. I'm painting a very light layer of that latex on. I'm taking like tissue, Kleenex, and just like separating it so it's 1 ply instead of 2 plies like it usually is. Slapping that on top of like the wet liquid latex. And then I'm just breaking that off where the liquid latex ends, and then taking that liquid latex again and brushing all over it so that it's like pretty saturated. So the little brush in this container sucks, but I didn't want to ruin like a different brush. I have decided to do 3 different parts, so over my right eyebrow, my left cheek, and then on my neck as well. So I am going to go ahead and do that and let it completely dry. And then I'm going to go in and do basically a second layer of that in a slightly smaller surface area so that it's not like super noticeable, I guess, is what the YouTube tutorials have been saying. A third layer as well, just to make sure that there is like kind of enough for me to work with and enough to cut through. So yeah, kind of that same thing, liquid latex, tissue, more liquid latex, making sure it dries and trying to not get it in my hair. So now that I have done that, I am basically going to take the Too Faced Born This Way, both the concealer in porcelain and foundation in light beige. I'm going to start with the concealer and kind of use that to cover the liquid latex. And then I'm going to go in with the foundation and apply that all over my face like I normally would, also bringing this all down my neck. This is a little bit paler than the color I am right now, but I think it'll work because the Queen of Hearts is a little bit pale anyway. So blending this down my neck so it's not like super obvious. Taking the ethereal setting powder, I am baking where I have the liquid latex, but then just taking a really fluffy brush, brushing that off and spreading that kind of across my face. So now I'm taking the Anastasia Brow Duo in Ebony, just doing my brows real quick. And this would basically just be like makeup as usual. So the Color Drain Vivid Pigments, I am taking the blue out of here and brushing that all over my crease. Taking a darker blue, I am kind of making a blue smoky eye with it, bringing it kind of outer thirds of my eyes and then also a little bit in my crease. And then just blending that out with that first brush I was using. And then I'm taking the Huda Beauty Gemstone Obsessions palette and just taking a kind of like a lighter lavender color, silvery color, and putting it on my eyelids and also smoking out my bottom lash line. Taking the Stila Stay All Day eyeliner, I am just slapping on a pair of wings real quick, and then I am going to go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil and line my bottom waterline and apply some false lashes from Shop Missy. Next, I'm going to contour with the Sunkissed Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, kind of being more careful on my latex side, and then with the LA Girl Blush Babe palette, also just slapping out a little bit of blush. I'm not taking a long time to do any of these things because it's not the focus. So next I'm taking very small scissors, and please be very, very careful when you're using sharp tools near your face, but I am going to poke a hole and cut where the latex is. And so I'm going to separate sort of like the latex flaps just to like get them to look more like skin that's been cut open. And this part was like pretty hard not to poke myself, so I actually did not even film the one on my neck because I like could not do it and film it at the same time. So like I said, please be very, very careful. Do not poke yourself, do not cut yourself. Just be really gentle. And for some parts I did like cut a little bit off of the flaps just so like it would stay kind of more an open wound. So next I'm taking basically a couple of hearts out of a deck of cards, measuring them against the cut, and kind of just like getting them to try to fit. This part I struggled with more than I thought I would. I like for some reason could not comprehend like how the cards should be cut so that they would adhere to my face correctly. So I actually tried using a glue stick, a combination of like a glue stick and eyelash glue to stick these cards into my face. Tutorials online said you're supposed to be using spirit gum, but I don't have any of that. So that didn't actually work. So then I'm going to go back in with the liquid latex on the card and in the wound, hoping that this will stick. And it actually kind of worked. Probably not for like all day wear because it did still feel a little bit flimsy. So spirit gum definitely more recommended, but liquid latex worked in a pinch. So I stuck a big 10 in my cheek, and then I started sticking like a giant card as well into my neck. And it was okay, but then when I stuck the little one up on my eyebrow, I kind of realized I liked that one better. So then I swapped the one on my neck out for like a little one instead. And I think I liked how this looked better. It just like wasn't so extra. So I'm going into the Mehron Paradise paint palette, taking that dark red, and I am kind of just painting that where the card meets my face, and then also like dragging it out a little bit to make it seem like a more authentic cut, I guess. I'm kind of just making this up as I go, honestly, and kind of slathering this everywhere because all I have for blood is like this blood gel by Ben Nye, and it is really thick. It's not supposed to really dry down. It is still water-based though, and it's because it was a gel, I wasn't sure if it was going to be red enough, so that's why I used the red face paint first. But I'm using this sort of in the center of the cut to really like darken that up and give it kind of that like kind of gross coagulated blood texture, I guess. And it worked pretty well. I'm like, I kept having to go back though and like dip and get more of it just to like layer it on and get it to look real gross. So then I took like a damp sponge, dipped it in the fresh scab as well, and kind of like smeared it around. I think part of this was just like to hide some of the texture in the latex as well. And then I'm going back in with that brush, back in to that fresh scab blood, and kind of just like dragging it down a little bit so that it looks like gravity like made the blood flow, I guess. This is my first time working with blood, so it was kind of weird for me. Anyway, so then to finish up this look, I'm just going to take the foundation I was using earlier, cover my lips, and then draw a heart. So I'm just taking any old lip pencil. This one happens to be MAC. And I'm just outlining this heart because if I go in with a red lipstick right away, I'm going to mess it up. So just kind of outlined a heart on my lips, and then I'm taking the ColourPop Cosmetics. I think this is Lost. I will link it down below. And I am just filling this in. So that completes the look. Okay, you guys, so that is it for my tutorial today. Strangely, the part about my face that I feel like I'm least happy with are my lips. For some reason, they just always look like they're pouting, but maybe that's the point. I really wish I had spirit gum and like the liquid blood instead of just like the gel, because I feel like I could have done a better job. And then I wish I just like made these a little bit longer. Lots of things I wish I would have done differently, but for my very first time playing with liquid latex and fake blood, I am happy with how this turned out. It is looking a little creepy. This card is a little bit big and obnoxious. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. It was definitely a fun first time for me. If you have any tips and tricks of like for latex, fake blood, like maybe what you would have done differently, please let me know in the comments. I would love to keep learning and get more into like special effects. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!